Yeah, I once received a note from him when I was doing a play on Broadway. He sent me a note to thank me for my performance and that he and whoever he had come with had such a great time, and there it was, Dominic Dunne.
Wow, I didn't know this. We've been doing this for 2 days. I didn't know.
Yeah, well, I like to keep
surprises.
Few things
so
for
many
myself.
Surprises.
I know, I know. So, yes, I knew who he was, and Ryan Murphy. They sent the first 4 episodes. Stop me if you've heard this before. Sent me the first 4 episodes, and I thought the writing was exceptional. And then he said we got on the phone and he said, and then we're going to hopefully do a later episode where we explore a little more of Dominic's backstory and what makes him tick.
I had the privilege of speaking and meeting both of them, and I can tell you they're absolutely incredible people. They've been so involved in prison reform. They are doing this green space project to try and make prisons a better place, a better environment for incarcerated individuals. And Eric teaches speech classes, he teaches meditation. They both are filled with light, and I think they're just excellent people, and I hope that the social justice system can decide to give them a new trial, and hopefully they can get parole.
It was one of the major highlights of this whole experience. They are incredible writers, led by Ian Brennan, who wrote that script for episode 5. They wrote the script almost a year before we started shooting it. It never changed, which is such a rare thing in TV. And after I read it the first time, I put it down for a few months, and I was too scared to look at it for a long time. Just intimidated by it and wanted to feel like I really knew who Leslie was before I got in there. And Cooper had to do such extraordinary, difficult work that I just wanted to support him as best I could and know exactly what I was doing so that, God forbid, I wasn't the one to mess that up. And we did it, we shot it 8 times over 2 days. So we did it 4 times a day. And our director, Michael Uppendahl, was just amazing, and we managed to get through it each time without stopping. And I think Cooper and I were so locked in together. We had gotten very close. He was the first person I spoke to when the job became official, and we just sort of fell in love. And we lived 5 minutes away from each other where I was shooting, so he would come over almost every day. When we were shooting that, we would go before and after. And actually something I've not said today, when we were in the middle of shooting on the first day of episode 5, and the first 2 takes were great, but not exactly like where we wanted them. And Sarah Paulson is a dear friend, and she had left me a voice note a few days before checking in, and I knew Cooper loved her, and I said, we were sort of holding each other and having a little cry and just sort of giving it over to. And then I was like, and let's listen to the voice note from Paulson before we go in. And it was just her reminding me of like my only job was to be there for Leslie, not just in this scene, but just in the work. And we listened to it together, and then we went off and then we did a take that we really felt good about. But I think the one that's in the show is maybe the final time we did it. But Cooper is extraordinary.
I had a lot of empathy for Kitty. I was thinking a lot about my mother and her generation and women I know of her generation, and, that were housewives, and what it meant to them to be that, and, having to rely on the male in the household to support the family. And when she was caught in the cycle of abuse, how would she ever get out? Who would she turn to? What were her options?
Bueno, pues significó una gran oportunidad para traer una opción creativa. El show no deja de ser una opción creativa, no es en ningún caso un juicio sobre nada, traerlo a la audiencia para que la audiencia pueda ver diferentes versiones y diferentes opciones de lo que se cree, de lo que sabemos que fue algo traumático, pero intentar entender de dónde venía ese trauma. En el caso de José Menéndez, el padre, de dónde venía eso, ese dolor que él no pudo afrontar y que evidentemente creó algo dolorosísimo en las siguientes generaciones. La falta de atención a su propio trauma creó un drama generacional, ¿no? Eso es un asunto importante del que hablar y creo que está muy bien tratado en la serie.